Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today we're going to look at the 2021 Elite Embark bow. This is new for 2021, but to me it kind of looks like the older Elite bows. And when I say older, the bows with the modules. The new Elites, since the Cure came out, the Result, have all got rotating modules which allow you to change the string stop to a limb or a cable stop, to change the feel of the bow and change the whole way the bow feels, and a lot more adjustment. With these modules, to change this module, to change the draw length, you've got to detach the strings. So you need a bow press to do that. So to change the modules, you've got to take off these draw stops here, top and bottom. You then put this bow on a bow press and you detach the strings and you fit a new module to the bow. So let's say I'm 29 inches and I want to try 29.5. That's going to take about half an hour for me to fit new modules to this bow. And always remember to fit these draw stops back on. These hit the limbs as you pull the bow back. If you don't, you're going to get 100% let off. And what that means is you're going to pull the bow back and there's going to be nothing. So the string's going to be like wobbly. There's going to be no pressure and you're going to go, how do I let this thing down? The answer is you can't let the bow down if you get 100% let off. What you have to do is put the bow in a bow press, and you need special arms on the bow press to hold those limbs in place because they'll be beyond parallel. And then you put the pressure on and then you roll the limbs back over by hand. And it's very, very scary, and a lot of my staff have had that experience. It's not a thing you really want to have that experience with. Now, one of my problems with the Elite modules is each Elite have different modules. So whether you go the Impulse 31 or the I'm thinking about all the old names of a lot of the Elites, every single one is a different module. So for this bow, I'm guessing they're going to be unique modules as well, which for an Elite dealer is just literally a nightmare, because you have cases and cases of modules, and someone will want a 26-inch module for an Embark and you'll be like, I don't have it. I've got every other size, I don't have that size. So the module thing is a bit of a disappointment for me. But I am going to say about the Elite modules, I'm going to try and zoom in. So you can see that on the module there's an edge on either side, so the actual string travels down the module. On bows like the PSE, they only have one edge, so the string travels along the edge of the cam, and I really like the twin track on the module. I think they should all be like that, all modules, whether it's rotating or stationary. Now, the pluses of this module system. So I've said the negatives. The negatives are you don't have adjustment. To change the draw length, you're going to have to fit it in a bow press, fit another module. It takes you half an hour to do so. And then let's say the customer doesn't want that draw length, they want to go back to 29, another half an hour. So it's a big, for a shop, it's a big issue, and it's a big issue for a customer because they want to change something or try something. It's a half an hour to an hour time just to try something, which is, you know, time's money basically. Now, the advantage of a draw length specific bow like this, and when I say specific with modules, is the module is specifically built for that draw length, so it should be a little bit more efficient. Less likely for things to go loose or creak because the module is held in 3 places. So you've just got to weigh that up. Now, I know I'm about 28.5 to 29 inches in draw length. My problem is, depending on how this bow feels, it'll either be short or long, and that's one of the issues I have. But once the bow's set up for you, well, you don't really need rotating modules. But the new Elites with rotating modules have 3 modules you can now fit to the bow to change the whole feel of the bow. Performance, 75, and I think they're just a normal module, which would be a high let-off module. So with the whole module, you can change the whole feel of the bow. With this bow, you can't. Now, one of the things I'm going to talk about is price point, because when you're looking at buying a bow, price point is important. With Elite, the new Embark is priced at the bottom of the Elite range. In Australia, this is going to retail for about $1,100. Now, to me, that's still an expensive bow. It's significantly less than the other Elites in the past. So the other Elites have been around $1,600. So it appears to me that Elite have said, well, we're going to concentrate on the rotating modules at about $1,600, and what we're going to do is produce a bow like we used to have for people who liked our old bows and at a reduced cost at about $1,100. I don't know if this is cheap enough. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Now, the specs on this bow, 32 inches axle, which is nice. 4.3 pounds. I did weigh this bow on a scale before I did this test, and it weighed exactly that. A little bit lighter, which is very rare because most bows are physically heavier than what is published. The brace height, the distance from there to there is 6 1/4. Speed was 322, which is kind of seems soft, slow. So I expect the draw cycle to be soft. This is a 60-pound bow at 28 inches. It's got a number 4 module, which you'll see just there. And that's one of the nice points about Elite. The draw length is adjustable from 25 to 29.5 with modules. I'd like that draw length to go out further, which is because there's a whole bunch of people at 30 inches. It comes in 50, 60 or 70 pounds. This is the black. Elite do a whole lot of different colors. It's a rough, when I say a rough black, it's not a smooth finish. It's a kind of a rough finish. It looks nice. The limbs, this little thing on the limb here, this is where this stop hits as you pull it back. The strings are nice. With the new Elites, you're going to get a roller slide. This is a straight cable slide. It is what it is. String stop. To me, this is very much like the old Elites. The grip feels a little bit different to the new Elites. The new Elites kind of feel wider at the base, and they kind of feel like they taper in. This feels parallel all up and down, so it feels to me very much like the older Elites that I've tested. The cage riser here for extra strength. This is what you saw in the later Elites that you were familiar with paying $1,600 for. So with that, 2 side holes. This is really weird. You got one there and one there. Now, generally bow companies do them in different positions, so you've got different spots to put your sight. I'm not sure why Elite have done one there and one there, because there's virtually no difference in the height. There is no spot here for a lower stabilizer for the rear one pointing backwards. You've got the ability for the 2-piece quiver there and there, which is nice. The bow's weight feels good. These are Gordon glass limbs. These little things here are to increase the little things there and increase the strength of the limb. Look, it feels quite nice. I just don't know about the price, and I suppose that's what we'll talk about. Right, so we're going to try out the draw cycle. If I can get the right arrow, this is probably arrows behind you. So the arrows we test with are 327 grains. They're a gold tip velocity. They have a 90 grain point. Let's try the draw cycle out. Now with the older Elites, they used to drop off into the valley quite sharp. So you'd sort of draw back and be hard, and then suddenly it'd drop off. So I'm going to be interested to see what this draw cycle is like. The new Elites are very smooth into the valley and very, very different to the way the old ones were. So this is quite hard. I feel like it's about to drop in. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm going to take the shot. It feels like about 90% when I'm back here. Says 303, but I'm going to clear the string thing because it might be maybe a false reading. That draw cycle felt better than a lot of the older Elites. It felt pretty good. I'm going to say it doesn't feel as good as the new like Elite. It doesn't feel as good as the Elite Cure or the Elite so beautiful these as the ones with the rotating module. I was going to say the Result, which is the target one. I'm expecting a drop there, but it feels pretty good. When you're back here, it feels very solid. $305. That's pretty. That's incredibly fast. Like, there's no shock at all. There's no shock. It's quiet. You can see I've got my hand open, the bow naturally just balances. See my hands just sitting there. That is, because the draw cycle's not bad, it's a pretty good draw cycle, and they're only rating this at 322, I'm getting 305 at 28 inches. That's very impressive. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to shoot one of my target arrows. This is a VAP Victory, VAP. Someone got Robin Hooded, so we'll get rid of that. This one's a 3D HV from Victory. It's a 400 spine with an 80 grain point in the front end. This will be fast. That was a really stupid spot to put the tag because it gets caught in the it gets caught in the wheel. I should have fixed that before I did the review. $325 with the 3D HV. Felt no shock. Bow feels stable. Sounds quiet. Now these are my target arrows, and there's another one I've knocked the knockoff with. So these are 350 with about 140 grain point with a 140 grain point front end. These will be slower. $281. Bows are pretty good today. They really are. This bow is very, very good. And you know, before I started doing this review, I was like, where does this fit in the marketplace? I don't know why Elite have produced this bow. The one they do rotating modules like they did with the Ember. But this is a very nice bow to shoot. It's $500 cheaper than the top of the line Elites. And to me it's pretty good. Two little spots there for the cable guard, which locks on, 2 Allen keys, which is nice. Better than one, because I prefer 2 locking points. That is those speeds are extremely impressive for the draw cycle. The draw cycle's not bad, it's pretty good. It doesn't drop off fast like a lot of the others. Now the other cheaper Elite, which I'm guessing Elite no longer make, was the Elite Enlist. The Elite Enlist didn't have this cage riser design. I'm going to say these cams are probably a little bit more advanced than the Enlist. It's the same 3-track system where the cam's the same at the top and the same at the bottom. But it's like metal limb pockets. And I'm just thinking how this competes in the marketplace. So against the PSE bows, PSE, I'm talking Australian dollars, The drive, which is a similar type of cam, different but similar, has got plastic limb pockets, different riser. I'm pretty sure the drive's a cast riser. About $700-800, and this is $1,100, but with the drive you got rotating modules. So I think this bow's better than the drive. I think I shot really well with the drive, but I feel like this bow is probably a higher up spec'd bow. Shoots very, very well. So I think it's probably better than an $800 PSE. I would prefer this bow at under $1,000. If this bow was $950, I'd be like, I've kind of hit a nice price point, and you could put a kit together with it, and you've hit a thing. But that extra $100, it's just like a price point thing. It might be okay in America. It might have been a price point which is nice, but if this bow was under $1,000, you'd be like, well, there's not a lot under $1,000 which this would compete against. This is very, very nice. So what we'll do now is we'll shoot this at 18 meters and see how well we shoot. Okay, so we're back at 18 and we're going to see how we shoot. Touch wood well. Now a lot of people say to me I shoot better with my hunting bows than I do with my target bows, and that's highly possible, and one of the reasons will be the balance of the bow. I think I'll shoot pretty well with this. I'm finding I get very little shake. So when I shot the Remedy, I found I got a fair bit of shake, and I think a lot of that was due to the draw length and 90% let off. So when I'm getting back there, the bow felt too long for me. With this bow, this is 28. I'm about 28 and a half to 29. So this is short, but when the bow's short, you just bend your front arm a bit and you shoot fine. So I think I'll shoot okay with this. I'm not finding any of that which I felt with the Remedy. Now it's a shorter brace height, so that should give me a little bit more wobble, a little bit less consistency than like a 7-inch brace height, but I think I'll shoot okay. So let's see. The draw, I'm pretty happy with the draw cycle, very happy with the balance. Now there's a, I just shoot 7. I don't shoot 7s. There's a little bit of wind and I am shaking around. I don't shoot 7s. I hope that's not said. That's where my practice is. I really can't see that well from here, but there's a mark towards the blue. Anyway. Done now. Let's get on to the next shot. The bow feels easy to shoot. I've got no idea where those arrows are going. The bow feels easy to shoot. There's no recoil when you shoot the bow. It's smooth, it's silent. I can feel, when I shot the Elite Result, I felt a little bit of these cables running through the rollers, sorry, running through the slide. The Result has the same slide as this, and I can feel the same, this here, going through this roller, going through this slide, which I don't feel with the rollers. When you shoot the Cure, the Remedy, the Encore, I don't feel that because it's rollers running through the center servings. So I'm going to say the Elite bows with roller cable slides feel a little bit smoother, but it's not bad. Actually, I haven't been shooting that well in the last few days. It could be because of the strong winds we've been having, but I shot a 300 last week, which out 300, and I was like, yes, I just feel like I can shoot 300s all day. And then it was a dramatic decrease for me, so I don't know how my bow reviews are going to go. And it could be because of the weights. Like doing weights, my muscles are fatigued. When I say these things, I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just justifying why my shooting has decreased. Like, I can feel all my muscles are all sore in my back here, all in the back here sore, the shoulders sore. I'm no longer going to train in the wind because I just found that was buggering up my aim. I was having so much trouble getting the shot off in the wind that now I'm shooting in I'm shooting the pull shed at the back there, so that way I don't have the wind running around me while I'm practicing. You know, when I'm aiming, the pin's just dead in the center, and it feels great. It's a really nice bow to shoot. There's something about this bow, it doesn't look as good as the other top line Elite bows. I don't know what it is, I can't put my finger on it. There's something about it that it just doesn't look like the other $1,600 Elite bows with modules. Well, that was either good or bad. I don't know what happened then. Look, I'm just going to say this bow shoots everywhere as good as all the other bows. And when I say all the other bows, I have no problem shooting this bow. The draw cycle when you get back there, it's locked in. The draw cycle is good. It doesn't drop off rapid. There's no vibration. The bow's a nice weight at 4.3. The speed's impressive. I mean, at 322, this bow should be shooting through my chronograph at probably 285, and it's shooting 300s. So, more than impressed with this bow overall. More than impressed. So let's go and check that group, because I really can't see it. I can just see one arrow hanging out of the target. Okay, so I'm up here at the target. I don't know what happened in this one. That was the last one I shot. It's angled down, and it doesn't look like it hit anything, but there's a vein on the floor. But it's in the middle. First shot was that one I looked at and I was like, I don't shoot sevens. Obviously do shoot sevens. Just haven't shot a seven for a long time. I can't remember the last time I shot a seven. I can check the target faces, like they just don't shoot sevens. It was me, obviously. Now, the height is pretty good overall in the group. Slight left and right adjustment. I'm going to say a fair bit of that's probably going to be the shorter draw length. The height's pretty good. Obviously my sights are a little bit out to the left. But overall it's not a bad group. Like, I can't get my hand around it. 7 wasn't good. But overall I feel this bow would shoot really well. I feel like it shoots really well, and for a hunting bow, 3D bow, I feel like this bow's really, really good. Which is going to put me back to the price point where I kind of started this review at, where it sits. Now, the problem for me was the original Elite sold for about $1,600. and they were hard because you had these modules. This bow's still hard because you've got modules, but it's aimed at a lower price point, so more of a beginner it's aimed at. But it's really more like the other Elite bows at the $1,600 price point. So I think it's good Elite's dropped their price point. It would be better if Elite came with a set of modules so you can change the draw length for customers. But I really like this bow. And you know, like with this bow, it's at the $1,100 price point. When the new Elite bows come in, people go, oh, what's the cure, what's the result like, what's the remedy like, what's the on-cure like? And it's like, well, they like the cure which you probably shot last year. Not a single person asked about this bow, because it's not the top of the range bow, so no one really gets excited about it. But I think for people who are on that budget, who don't want to go to the $500 price point, I think this is a really good bow. By moving these draw stops forward or back, you can increase or decrease your let off. That's simple. By moving the draw stops that way, so they hit early, you decrease the let off. The strings on these bows are very good. So Elite make Winner's Choice strings, which are very good quality strings. These are quite a good quality string. So those people who go and fit custom strings to your bow, not a huge fan of it. Look, it's quite nice. I'd probably like a roller slide here because I think it's a bit. I feel like it's a bit grabby there, but it's not bad. You probably won't notice it. I notice it just for the draw. I can feel it pulling through. I can kind of feel that. But overall, very nice, solid bow. I think this will be a hard wearing bow. This paintwork will be solid. I mean, this paint will be, in 10 years, this paint will still be good. The limbs are good. These are Gordon glass limb, which is what's used by all the bow companies. They're solid. Small axles. You'll see the later ones have got the big thick axles. The later Elites have got big thick axles. I would prefer the big thick axles. You know, it's got the roller bearings here in the cams, which is nice. Look, it's a nice bow. And when I look at, spending an extra $500 for one of the later bows, the advantage of this bow to the later bows, obviously the weight is a little bit lighter, and if you're looking for a hunting bow, it's nicer to have a lighter bow because you can always stack up the weights with a bow quiver or stabilizers. The grip was nice. I'm going to say I almost find it hard to justify the extra $500. I would probably justify the $500 because of the adjustment with the rotating modules and the for myself, so I could play with the bow, try less let off, try the string stops, try the limb stops, just try stuff. I really like that. And with the $500 extras, you got the tuning things, to pivot the limbs. With the Embark and the older Elites, if you're going to do tuning, you're going to have to put this bow in a bow press and move these cams left to right, and that takes time. I mean, it's not a bad system, but the new one's probably easier. But for me, $1,100, this would be a bow that would be rock solid. It'd be a nice bow. It shoots really nice. I think it looks nice, and I probably want to hold it up against the other Elite bows. But grip's nice. Overall, really like the bow. Nice, rugged, lifetime warranty. I can't see you having any problems with this bow ever. So with that, that's the Elite Embark. If you're sort of worried, like when you go to a shop and you're thinking, look, what bow do I buy? I mean, I think that when I do these reviews, where would I rate this bow? I would rate this bow, I really would. and I kind of want to think about whether I want to spend the extra $500 on a $1,600 bow versus this, because I just, shootability, I just don't know if it's that much better to spend the $600 on. Basically what I'm buying is a bit more tech, latest technology on the $1,600 bow with probably not improved results. Depends what $600 is for you. But this is a very nice bow. Very impressed by Elite. I don't know how it will sell. I don't think it will sell that well, because I think people will jump to the $1,600 models. I think there's a price point. I think if this bow was at $900, it might sell. I think if they did the rotating modules like they did on the Ember, this bow would sell at around the $900, $950. And I'm kind of, it's a bit sad they didn't do this bow as an Ember. I think that's the bow Elite need. But overall, this is a very nice shooting bow. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, the Elite Embark. Try it at your local archery shop and see what you think, and drop a like or drop a comment below if you've shot it and see what you thought of the bow. But very nice, impressive speed out of it. Very impressive speed. Yeah, very good solid bow. Thanks for watching. Bye.